So with our money, there are things that we can get lucky with, right? If you don't have some type of emergency or tragedy or something in your life that is extremely costly that you cannot control, that's lucky, right? It is lucky if you can go, 10 years and not have some type of big emergency that is really costly. That is lucky, right? It is lucky if your, heat and air doesn't go out at some point on the home that you own, right? It is lucky if your, car doesn't blow its transmission out at some point. It is lucky, right? If some of these things are to occur. And these costly things not occurring is going to be more beneficial for you financially, obviously, right? But even more than that, it is lucky if you had an opportunity to get some type of head start, right? If your parents, they made the right decisions and they paid for your college. That is lucky for you because you don't have student loan debt. You were likely able to be taught certain financial principles to get a good head start and know how to manage your finances properly as you move forward in life. That is lucky. And some people don't have that luck. And again, there are different hurdles and different things that people have to get over, right? There are things that people have to work through. And it's not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy, but there is luck involved with some things, right? With your finances as well. When you are investing, there is a fair amount of luck involved, right? You can invest in the right things, but at the wrong time. So, for instance, the lost decade, they call it, right? So let's say you were out of college in January of 2000, right? And you had your first job and you were going to start saving in your 401k. You were going to start putting money away in your 401k for your future. And you're trying to do all the right things. You're trying to save all these things. Well, they call 2000 to 2010 the lost decade. Why do they call it the lost decade? Because the rate of return in the S&P 500 over that period was basically zero. And that is super uncommon with a 10-year period, but that 10-year period had two large crashes of the S&P 500 that really dragged down returns to basically zero. And so they call it the lost decade because if you were investing there in that time, you didn't make any money, right? You were just putting contributions in and didn't make any money. And it is lucky to make good returns, right? It is lucky if you're putting money away in the S&P 500 and you are able to make better returns than your counterparts because of when you began, right? So that is lucky over time, and that's not something that you can control. But what can you control, right? We have to still put the money away, right? We still have to make the contributions. We still have to save money. We still have to have enough margin in our budget and create a budget and live below our means in order to be able to invest and put money away. So it is a conscious effort. It requires our hard work. And obviously, the studies have shown that your ability to build wealth over the long term is far less reliant on rate of return than it is on the amount of money that you put in, the contributions you actually made to the accounts. And so you can see in that particular situation, that the hard work outweighs the luck. And that happens in many cases because you can, go years and years and not have an emergency and be real lucky in that way. But if you aren't doing the correct things financially along the way to take advantage of not having that emergency, then you are squandering an opportunity. You're squandering your own luck. And that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to squander our own luck. We want to take the opportunities, take the luck that we have, and use that, right? And work hard at whatever it is we are doing. So whether we are, trying to get out of debt, work hard at that, right? If you don't have any emergencies while you're getting out of debt, that is huge because you have more cash flow to throw at your debt. Or while you're building an emergency fund, you have more cash flow to throw at your emergency fund. And then if you don't have an emergency while you are saving or investing for the future, then you can continue to save and invest for the future without bumps in the road along the way. And most people do have bumps in the road, but you can get lucky. That is a particular place in our financial life in which we can get lucky. And maybe even you coming across this show, right, could be a stroke of luck. It could be the algorithm on YouTube or your podcast site or whatever. It allowed you to get lucky and you came across this podcast and can learn things about your finances and implement them into your own life, hopefully, right? And so you have all these things that can be lucky. But if you don't do anything about the luck, then it was all a waste. I mean, think about individuals who win the lottery, right? They win the lottery and typically the money gets blown, right? Lottery winners aren't well known for their good money management habits. And they got lucky and won the lottery, but they did not do the hard work of learning how to manage all of the money that they got really, really quick. And so many of them squander it quite quickly. And so that is a place that you can say, obviously, yes, luck was involved. Luck was the key because the odds to win the lottery are absolutely crazy, right? And I don't think any of you should be buying lottery tickets anytime soon or ever, right? But those individuals still have to work at it. They still have to work at doing the right things financially. For instance, right, you can go to work every day, work hard to make the income that you make, right? Or let's say your boss, comes in one day and they're like, we're going to give raises. Well, you got lucky and got a raise, right? But if you don't use that raise for the right thing financially, if you go and, blow it at a store or do whatever, when you know that's not the right thing to be doing with that money, then you squandered the opportunity to be successful with money because you did not work hard and work in the right order and do the right things with what you were given. So the luck was squandered. So quite clearly, as we can see, the ability to build wealth and be financially successful is not just a direct function of luck, right? Yes, people need opportunities, right? You need an opportunity to be financially successful. You need an opportunity to do things financially, but you can work hard to get to a certain place. And I'm trying to give you the motivation in order to do so. If you feel like you're stuck in a rut or you feel like you can't, right? Or you're just waiting for the next stroke of luck to come along, right? Take what Thomas Jefferson said. He tends to get a lot luckier when he is working a lot harder. So try to work hard. Try to do the most that you can to further yourself, further maybe your knowledge, your education, the number of hours that you're working. Work real hard, learn new skills, do new things, work real hard on getting your debts paid off and building emergency funds and things like that. And you will find strokes of luck along the way.